Yo, what's good, y'all? Hope y'all doing good today, man. Stay blessed out here. Too blessed to be stressed, man. But as you can see in the title, I wanted to go ahead and do a quick video real quick about USA Truck. That's a company I currently drive for. I know I've got a lot of questions about it ever since I switched over to being a contractor, and people see my truck like, hey, man, how's USA, yada, 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 yada. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the company, not necessarily about I see it's the contractor side itself, but I will go over a little bit of that, but I'll be mainly talking about being a company driver at USA Truck. Now, the company's based out of Van Buren, Arkansas, considered a mega carrier. So we do have a lot of trucks, but I know a lot of the trucks that we do have are older that are getting sold off. So, if you do decide to come over here, then there are a lot of new trucks coming in, and chances are you will likely be in a new truck, more than likely. So, on to the meat and potatoes. The biggest thing that everybody wants to know when it comes to trucking, how much money am I going to make? Now, first thing, if you are a vet, whenever you get ready to come here, you put in the application. If you are a 88 Mike or have ever been at some point, your driving experience as an 88 Mike counts and can help you get paid more. So take advantage of that. There's no point in missing out on free money if you can get paid a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't want to get paid more money? That's crazy if you don't. One second. But then on to the next thing. So with the pay, I came here with 8 months of experience or so. I got paid 40 cents and a quarter per mile. I didn't know 40 and a quarter cents per mile was a thing, but apparently it is. So if y'all didn't know that either, it's a thing. But about every week, I was averaging about 3,000 and 3,600 miles a week. I was on the actual company load board fleet, because they do have a load board fleet for company drivers. And I brought home on average about 12 to 1,300 bucks a week. And once I can print off some settlements, and get those put in the truck, I'll go over some of those with you, because you got a lot of drivers on here that'll say, oh, I'm making this, I'm making that, I'm making this, I'm making that. And then, drivers go and they switch companies, like, okay, I can make some more money. And then they're like, hey, man, what's up? I'm only making $300-400 a week. I came over here because you said I'm making this, I'm making that, and I'm not making anything. So keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that my experience might not be the same as yours or yours, but it could be. So keep that in mind. You might not like to run that hard every week. I do, just because when I was a company driver, I knew the harder I ran, the more money I made. Yeah, I was wearing myself out, and it got old, and I had to take a break. Start taking breaks and stuff every now and then. But how hard you run. So if you're a guy that likes to run hard, doesn't mind, doing 34, 35, 3,600 miles a week, then you can make good money. Like I said, my last check here as a company driver, I ran 3,500 miles and I bought home 1,656 take home after taxes and after my weekly insurance, which the insurance was 121, and I think I might have had an advance on that week too. I don't know, but either way, you can make good money here. Now, also onto that, with the pay, you also get a performance bonus every week, which goes off of how many miles you drive per week. So it starts at 2 cents per mile and adds on up to 6 cents. So pretty much if you're starting off at 40 and a quarter per mile, if you drive, a certain amount of miles per week, you might make 42 cents a mile, or you might make 46 cents and a quarter per mile. So it really depends on you on what kind of money you want to make while you're here. So Just keep that in mind. The more you drive, man, the higher your earning potential is. Um, and then on from that, with the home time, I had a really good relationship with my dispatcher. Shout out to Amanda. She's awesome. Um, I had a really good working relationship with her. So, it was a mutual respect thing. And, it was one of those like, we both know it's not going to work if we don't work together type things. If you don't work well with your dispatcher, then you're not going to make any money, and your dispatcher's not really going to want to help you out if you have an issue. Or, they're just going to end up putting you on crappy loads, and then you're not going to make any money, at least not the money that you should be making for being out here on the road. Because let's be honest, when you're out here on the road, you want to get paid and you want to make a good amount of money. You don't want to be making McDonald's or warehouse money and being away from home every week. But I got home every 2 weeks, man. Sometimes I stayed out for a month. Sometimes I stay out for a month and a half if I wanted to. But, usually I go home for every 2 weeks, and I stay home for 2 days or 3 or sometimes 4. It was up to me, but just keep it in mind that, if you go home every week for 3 or 4 days, you are not going to get a good paycheck. Keep that in mind. That's why I personally would recommend going on to our low board fleet if you can get on there starting out as a company driver. Because I got the most miles out of the low board fleet. And then secondly, when you're on the low board fleet, you plan your own loads. And you can plan 3 loads at a time. So you plan the one where you're at, your destination, and then you plan your next load from that destination. So with that, you can plan yourself to go home, shoot by the crib. You could take a 10-hour break at the crib. You could be home 2 or 3 times a week if you want to, taking a 10-hour break. So just keep that in mind. That is something you can do. You got to be on time, and to be on that fleet, you have to run an average of 2,000 miles a week, or it might be 2,200 miles a week. I have to check back on that, and I'll give you an exact number on that, but that's what it is. Now, with the fleet, as far as the actual trucks go, we have internationals and Kenworths mainly. Now, we do have some older Kenworths and older internationals, and we do have Freightliners. But the Freightliners are all getting pushed out of the fleet because they are older trucks, and the company is getting rid of the older trucks. They just got in a bunch of brand new internationals. They're constantly getting in brand new T680s. So if you're a Kenworth guy, hey, got trucks for you. They all come with the Aero X package. CB antennas, all that's, pre-installed. You just got to install your own CB. And, if you're international guy or gal, then we got those too. But, I don't know too many people that are really into internationals. But, anyways, that's what it is as far as the equipment goes, man. It's pretty basic. You don't have fridges in any of your trucks unless you buy it yourself. But I do recommend, if you do buy a fridge, stay away from the coolers and stuff like the truck stops. Just go to Walmart or Lowe's and buy you a fridge for like $100. Put in your passenger seat or find somewhere in the back to stick it. Just because those coolers and fridges you buy at the truck stops aren't going to last anywhere near as long as a actual fridge you can buy from Walmart or Lowe's or Best Buy or something like that. So I think I had a small fridge that I bought from Walmart, and I paid $120 for that. So keep that in mind, man. That's not a good way to save your money. Being a trucker out here on the road, bring your own food, cook it home, throw it in the fridge. Eating out here constantly, eating out on the road is gonna kill your wallet. That's where a lot of your money is gonna go if you're not careful. So some other things with USA Truck. Our terminals. We have a terminal in Waxahachie, Texas. We have another terminal out in Laredo. Then we have a terminal in West Memphis, Arkansas. We have the terminal and home office in Van Buren, Arkansas. The actual terminal itself is closed down. We don't get routed through there. At least it's very rare that we do. So from a fiscal standpoint, there was no point in keeping the shop and terminal open when you don't get drivers coming through there. Or, if you do, it's very rare that a driver will come through there. So you can still go there and park and go over to the main office and like lift weights, the gigantic gym they got. And I think they have showers too. So that is still there, but there is no actual terminal to go sit down and chill inside of. Keep that in mind. We have a terminal in West Memphis, Arkansas. Then we have another terminal that is up in Vandalia, Tip City, Ohio, which is like the Dayton, Ohio area. It's a really nice terminal. They're renovating all the terminals. Vandy is one of the most recent ones. And then we have a Carlisle, Pennsylvania terminal, which just opened up on the inside once they finished the renovations on that. So that's really nice. Free laundry at all of the terminals. Showers. Bring your own towels. At least I'm pretty sure you do. Every time I've gone there, I've had to have my own towel. So bring your own towels. But you get free lunch. You got coffee, water machines. So you do get, it's pretty good. It gets expensive washing clothes at truck stops sometimes because you've got some places that'll charge you like $5 per load, which is insane. And then we have a terminal that's down in Forest Park in Morrow, Georgia. One's a terminal, the other one is a shop. The sites aren't big enough to fit a terminal and a shop on the same spot. So they are separate, but it's only like 10 minutes away. Yeah, it's a minor inconvenience. But I mean, it's only 10 minutes. Like, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. So as far as the company itself goes, I haven't really had any issues, man. Orientation was super quick. It was 3 days out of West Memphis just because I live, in Mississippi, very close to West Memphis. And then you can either go to orientation in Vandalia, Ohio, or the one down in Atlanta, pretty much, Atlanta, Georgia, which is Morrow or Forest Park. I don't know if the terminals in Texas will ever end up doing orientation, but as for now, those are the only 3 locations where they hold orientation. After you've been here for 6 months, you can come on as an IC, or you can come straight in as an independent contractor. I'm not sure how coming straight in as an independent contractor works, but unless you are familiar with running lanes and you're business minded, I would not recommend coming in and trying to lease a truck onto USA, if you don't have your own truck. Me, yes, I did a lease purchase. I know some of y'all are about to have a heart attack because of that, but financially for me, it works for me. I have a truck with a warranty. I don't have to ever worry about fixing anything because the warranty is going to cover it for the next 5 years. So I'm not, I'd rather do that than use up to 15 grand into my savings account, buying a used truck and then having to sink all that money into it within the first year because I've had to replace a turbo or, something serious or a bunch of minor things that just end up costing a lot of money. Now, as far as being a contractor here, you can lease a truck through a few companies that the company uses, or you can bring over your own truck. Now, as far as the pay goes, you get 65% of the line haul, and then you get 100% of the fuel surcharge, which if you're using the load board, it shows you exactly it shows you what the line haul is and what your fuel surcharge is, but that's not with the 65% taken out. So whenever you're picking loads, you have to remember that. So that way, you're not picking a load that, oh man, it's going to be, $2, $3 a mile, but you forgot that it's not the 65%. So you're really going to end up making like $1 per mile on your load. So you got to be really smart about that. Like the load I'm on now, I came from Kentucky. I'm actually in Denver, Colorado right now. I'm making $3,100 on this load after the 65% plus my fuel surcharge. So you have to be very aware of what you're making in the areas you're going in, because you don't want to go somewhere where there's not good freight and then shooting yourself in the foot trying to get out of that area, or having to deadhead a very, very long way to your next load. Because, like, you know, we don't really do business west of I-35, but you can if you're a contractor. Like, we have loads from Kentucky going out to Oregon and Washington that are paying like $8,000, you know, before the 65%. But even then, you know, you're still making like, you know, like $6,500 off of those loads. So yeah, sounds great. But you're going to spend a lot of money in fuel getting out there, and then a lot of money trying to deadhead somewhere out of there to get you a load to get back into an area where we do have loads. So just say you do what I did and go through the company I went through. I had to put $1,500 down on my truck as a deposit, and then I get my first 2 weeks in the truck were payment free. So they give you the first 2 weeks to save them some money. And then on top of that, I pay $665 a week. I've got a brand new 2021 Freightliner Cascadia. It had 120 miles on it when I got it. So brand new, straight out the box, you know, take the plastic off the seats, brand new. Haven't had any issues. Everything's been good. The company that I got my truck through, you can get a Freightliner, you can get a Pete, you can get a Kenworth, or you can get a Volvo. But more than likely, you're going to end up getting a Freightliner because that's what they mostly have. But you can get any of the other trucks if you decided to. Or they have other companies that you can go through and get a truck, unless you know you want to bring your own truck over here. Now, with that, the company pays for your tags if you are a lease op. They also pay for your insurance, all that comes out. So like my fixed cost every week is an additional $130 onto my truck notes. I'm paying $797 per week with my additional costs. And then your tolls come out at the end of the month. So you have to make sure that you're careful with that, because you don't want to, that last week, you don't want to end up having a bad week or going home that week and forgetting about those tolls that came out because you were in New York for a week, and now you put yourself in a hole because you didn't make enough money that week. So that's, you know, that's kind of the gist on that. But like I said, man, the company's not bad at all. I love it so far. Yeah, you know, there's certain things I don't like. You know, you've got a lot of drivers out here, man, that they don't pre-trip. Or, you know, if they do, it's not thorough. It's a quick walk around because, oh, somebody's watching me kind of thing. And they don't actually look for issues. So that's one thing the company's cracking down on is, you know, a lot of drivers are leaving trailers unrepaired, and it's screwing the next driver. So that's just one of the things I don't like here. But they treat you like family, though. Like my birthday, the head safety guy called me, wished me happy birthday. I mean, pretty much everybody that's in my network of higher ups, like I can call, personally talk to, shoot them a message on Facebook. Like if I have any issues, you know, it's not something that takes long to get resolved. But that's that today, man. I'm gonna end up getting on here, making another video, touring the truck, and then looking at some of the facilities and stuff when I get back to a terminal. But until then, y'all stay blessed, man. Stay safe and take care of yourself out here on these streets, man. Peace out.